When you drive a parallel hybrid vehicle, there's a bit of an awkward zone. There's a section where it really hesitates.
It's like something.
I
want to get a reaction from the gas pedal, but here,
I'm just pulling you in, don't go. Should I go?
or not, something like that.
Dramatic situations occur sometimes. When do they happen?
When Josok Bang Jitoku goes over a speed bump, he says, huh, that's pretty good.
You're doing well, that's good. I get that feeling. When I saw it, once it starts running and goes up on the highway like this.
Hello, this is Yonmot Goro.
Yes, hello, this is Gomisu.
Yes, Hwanjang-nim, which car are we driving today?
It's the Renault Filante.
Filante. It's the Aurora 2 project and the successor to the Grand Koleos that made our hearts flutter.
Yes, it's the premium version.
The chief calls the higher-end version the calligraphy of Grand Koleos. That's right, that's how he described it. But will the great impression of Grand Koleos, the feeling that amazed us, still be there?
Well, as for the driving feel, the platform itself is so good that I think that'll carry over. But when it comes to the expectation that the interior would feel more luxurious, it's a bit disappointing. Not as much as I expected. There aren't many elements that give it a sense of luxury.
Seat?
The seat too, but when Nagroup Nim rides here,
The seat is a bit...
I would have moved it back, but there's no switch here.
Walk-in, that's something in a car like the Nero,
Even compact cars have it.
Exactly. So when it comes to what you mentioned about this sense of emotion and luxury, I think there needs to be a premise first.
That's right.
So you're saying we should think carefully since it's 5 million won more than the Grand Koleos?
That's right, okay.
All right. Then as we go around, let's hear from car expert Mr. Gominsu about what differences there are.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go. All right, team leader. Everyone has a hybrid car these days.
That's right.
Nowadays, if someone asks what car you're buying, it feels like you're judged for not choosing a hybrid.
That's true.
There's no need for that, but you're right. The Filante was only released as a hybrid version, and for the Grand Koleos, there was a gasoline version for the two-wheel drive. That's right. So, in conclusion, there are now 3 versions of the vehicle. Recently, Renault released a new hybrid. First, let's introduce the vehicle of team leader Ban.
For now, I have the Peli hybrid and the Santa Fe MX-5 hybrid.
You might be surprised because I said, I'm going to buy the Peli, but then the Santa Fe came out first. In the comments, people said, Team Leader Ban, how can you buy the Santa Fe when you already bought the Palisade?
Yeah, the Santa Fe was released first.
And recently, one of our subscribers came to the Must and left a comment for me. Hey, Captain, there's a Palisade hybrid, so that's right.
The reason I ended up buying the Palisade hybrid is actually closely related to the Filante, because the Filante was promoted in the media as being a class above the Grand Koleos. But that's not true.
That's right, you're correct.
So that's why I drew it. But when it was actually released, all they did was stretch out the butt on the same platform. Ah, that's right.
To put it bluntly, what the class president said is exactly right.
That's right.
Because back then, we used to call it a completely different mid to large size.
That's right.
And since the names were Aurora 1 and Aurora 2, of course, everyone expected a different car.
That's right. From that perspective, since a premium version of the car came out on the same platform, there was just no answer.
Calligraphy. That's how you put it? That's right.
You can think of it as the calligraphy version of Grand Koleos, because when I look at press releases or the changes, they're all advertising emotional elements. So, things like driving feel, ride comfort with frequency responsive tempo, NVH through soundproof glass, and a bit of a premium feel through the roof glass, they seem to be advertising those kinds of things. So then, is this car really worth more than the Grand Koleos? At the very least, it's about 500 more expensive, and at most, it can be up to 800 more expensive. Is it really worth that price?
That's what I was thinking. So first, one of the things we liked about the Grand Koleos was its driving feel, right? Before we talk about the emotional driving feel, why did we like the Grand Koleos in the first place?
When it comes to driving, in the case of the Grand Koleos, of course it went through localization for Korea, but based on the original base, it felt really good. The feeling of the GF steering wheel system was also really good, and the inline hybrid system was introduced in Korea for the first time.
That's right, it was impressive.
Yes, it was impressive.
Oh.
Impressive. People said it would be really bad since it's a top shifter. It was really good even before I tried or rode it.
But when I actually opened it up, I was like, wow, this is an electric car. I definitely got that feeling, right? Sing Yu Lee, yes, this is like the original version.
That's right, it's the original version.
But did you know it ranked #1 overall in China in the first half of last year? That's right, I was really surprised. So when it comes to the basics, this car is really excellent.
There's no need to discuss it.
It's being exported to Europe and other places as well. Wow, getting first place in China's fiercely competitive market is really tough. This CMA platform it has is actually getting better reviews from the engineers who've worked on it, even more than expected.
That's right. Since the basic platform has a good base, even if you detune it a bit, it still performs well. The basics have to be good. If the base is tasty, adding toppings makes it even better, just like with rice paper rolls. Yes, that's true. But if the basics aren't good, then even if you add something on top...
Would adding anything really make it taste good? That's right. So, the car that gave me that good feeling before was the Grand Koleos. The Grand Koleos had all the basics right, so let me talk about the downsides first. Instead of being bad, a few aspects felt lacking for Korean consumers. For example, the second row ride was slightly firm. Was there anything else?
Luxury features?
Luxury features, meaning those who expected a more luxurious feel from a mainstream car. So that's perhaps how Filante was born. That's one way to look at it. Then what can we expect from Filante?
With Filante, they've improved the ride comfort even further.
Oh, that's right.
They improved the rear suspension. Our undercarriage review shows the Mandu-style shock absorber installed. A frequency-selective damper has now been installed by Mandu, so sometimes the damping feels kind of stiff and makes you wonder, is this a Hyundai Kia car?
But now, what a lot of people are expecting is, hey, what exactly has become more luxurious? That's the question. Let's break this down into two parts as well. There's a mid to low speed range that's very well optimized for hybrid vehicles. In places like this, what lets us feel the ride quality is the speed bump, right?
That's right.
How did this feel to you?
I like that. So this Buxan Mandu MD frequency selective damper, the biggest difference I feel is when going over speed bumps.
That's right.
It's really soft there. It's really soft there, but as for the driving feel, well, it's a bit disappointing.
A bit more. I expected a bit more, but at high speeds, the driving feel, there wasn't much difference.
Yeah, because the Grand Koleos was really good. So compared to the Grand Koleos, this one feels like it's loosened a bolt just a bit. I mean, it's a bit looser. Even the steering wheel, it feels like something has changed.
That's right.
The steering wheel used to feel really tight in the center, you know, with a precise and firm feeling when you held it. But this one moves just a little bit, you have to make small corrections.
So, in a way, when interpreting the part where this has become more sophisticated, should we approach it like Germany's big three luxury brands? Or should we appeal to the sensibilities of Korean consumers? If we look at it comprehensively, I think it's about finding a comfortable texture.
But that could be good for some people. And for those who like the original feeling of Grand Koleos, it might feel a bit disappointing. That's right, it feels a bit loosened. Even so, it's still much better than competitor vehicles. Right? Yes, this isn't a bad thing. That's true.
Now the question is who to assign here.
Yes, that's right.
There's a difference here. Compared to competitors, especially domestic cars, you can't hide the much more stable driving feel and that solid, sticky sensation. That's right, it has it. Second, sir, isn't quietness really important when it comes to creating a sense of luxury?
Yes.
What do you think of the quietness?
Honestly, when it comes to quietness, the Grand Koleos is known for its great value for money.
Looking at it,
unless it's the highest trim, they bundled it together. HD and double laminated soundproof glass, that's right. Yes, so they made double laminated soundproof glass an option, but in this one, it's included as standard.
Overall, noise cancellation and double laminated soundproof glass are provided.
It's included as standard, but compared to Grand Koleos, it's not like this one is dramatically quieter or anything. I don't really get that feeling.
Because when we first saw the Grand Koleos, the car price started in the 30 million won range.
That's right.
Wow, at this price range, it's an import, has good driving performance and is quiet. So I was really surprised. So back then, with Mr. Ban in Busan, we dared to compare the Genesis. That's right. At that time, we used to say that the quietness of the Genesis was outstanding even compared to imported cars. And also,
at that time I owned a GV279, so that's right, I did a little comparison.
Compared to that, when I compared how much it had improved, they did use more soundproofing materials, but it wasn't as shocking as back then. Yes, that's right. I think that's a fair assessment. Still, it's very quiet.
Yes, it's still quiet. And with the frequency-sensitive dampers added, they say it's become a bit smoother, but the basic character is still a bit firm. So it doesn't feel mushy at all. The car feels a bit more relaxed than the Gran Koleos, but its basic character is still firm. It's tuned for composure, driving stability, and handling. This feeling is something that's hard to describe exactly in words.
I think the best way to understand it is to actually test drive it. That's right, it's only softer compared to the Gran Koleos, but it's not like the Sorento, Santa Fe, or Palisade, which represent the typical characteristics of domestic midsize or large SUVs.
That's true from the start, so how's the test drive car today? Our manager Sionteng tried it, and the office manager also tried it. The office manager said it felt firm, while manager Sionteng said it was really good. There's a clear difference depending on personal preference. That's right.
That person drives an N, right? Since he drives an N, but after trying this, he was like, wow, this is really good. He had never even considered an SUV before, but now he's thinking, should I buy this? He said something like that, so our team leader told him to be more objective and made similar comments. So, team leader, in the end, there are parallel and series parallel hybrid systems in Korea, right? Yes, can you explain their differences in more detail?
In the case of the series parallel system, the response is good. When I drive a parallel hybrid vehicle, which is what I have, there's something like a dead zone. A dead zone? Yes, there's a section where it really hesitates.
Oh, it's like I want to get a response from the accelerator, but here.
It's like it's pulling me back, saying, don't go. Should I go?
Or should I not? Is it like this?
Yes, and in my words, I call it a dead zone. There's that dead zone. But another advantage of the parallel hybrid is that aside from those low speed or mid-low speed ranges, when you get on the highway, it actually feels pretty good.
Even though it's a hybrid. Also, since it operates mainly with the engine, there are these differences. So, would this be the right way to put it? When we run a marathon, we have to sprint and then hit the button at the front, right? The car that keeps giving power until you definitely reach that point is something we wish parallel hybrid vehicles would do better. They need to provide that for sure. The series parallel hybrid where driving simply connects and goes. Basically, it's saying, I'm confident in my durability.
So if you don't mention that this is a hybrid when you drive it, it just drives like a regular gas car. So you don't really feel any transition or that sensation of being pulled from behind when the EV mode kicks in. That's right. So there are pros and cons, but in the city it's really light, smooth and polished. Yes, it feels very polished.
That feeling is really nice.
Yes, it's really good.
It has a feeling like an electric car.
It feels like an electric car, but the engine kicks in when you need it.
That's right.
Yes, and as for the parallel hybrid, it's basically a gas car, that's right.
It's mainly engine-based, yes.
It's a gas-powered car, but it feels like it turns off briefly to save fuel, so there's a distinct difference in that feeling.
So maybe that's why, when it transitions, in the case of parallel type vehicles in Korea, when the engine and motor connect after driving a lot, that feeling is a bit disappointing now.
It's disappointing, and the noise when the engine connects is actually louder than you might think. That's right, because even my Palisade is louder than this one.
It's loud even though it's a next generation model. Yes, next generation 2.5. So now that I think about it, the next generation was actually in 5 places. Oh. No, Captain, we have to conclude that in city sections, the parallel hybrid system is definitely better.
Yes?
If we submit this as it is,
if we take it to the high-speed range, it's a bit disappointing.
It's the opposite.
Yes. So if you just drive at a constant speed of 100 km/h on the highway all the time, it doesn't really matter. But when you have to carry luggage, go up a hill, or need to overtake or accelerate,
when you temporarily need a lot of power.
At that time, in a way, the parallel type is a bit better.
Anyway, when a hybrid vehicle reaches 110 kilometers or 130 kilometers, the acceleration drops a bit. In this situation, when driving the same section, the parallel input method pulls a bit more.
At that time, it's a bit more...
the propulsion power.
It's good.
There can be those kinds of differences. Yes, since you're explaining this part in detail, I can see how that could be the case. That's what I think. Now, the role of the seat is also really important in completing the ride quality. There was something that surprised us in the summer 2 years ago. We directly compared the size of the seats, and at that time we compared vehicles like the Santa Fe and the Sorento from different generations. The Koleos was the biggest, right? And just in case, we also measured the second row, and this one was the largest.
That's right.
So, in a way, when it comes to the seats our family sits on, should we check the backrest part, or should we check the space in front of the knees and shins, or when traveling long distances, should we check the area under the hips and thighs? Which part is the most important?
If it's the seat where your hips rest.
The seating surface?
Exactly, since ultimately it's about being comfortable with the seat, the backrest angle, and its adjustability.
Heat.
Especially heat.
The sound of the heat is good, but the size between the first row and the second row, well, I'll just call this promotion. In the mid-size class, the first row is a bit bigger, about 50 centimeters. The size of the first row seat in a mid-size SUV is about 50 centimeters. But when you move to the second row, mid-size models don't reach 50 centimeters, right?
That's right.
So Palisade does reach 50.
That's right.
So you should buy the Palisade, but the car I'm driving now, Filante, is close to 50. That's why the size of the first and second rows is almost the same in Filante. The same goes for the Grand Koleos.
That's right.
For that reason, when traveling long distances, the solid driving performance and this comfort felt a bit different.
That's true.
It's just that your back lets you know right away. How are you feeling now?
This one, the seat's shape, the backrest has changed a bit.
Our Grand Koleos.
But the seating surface feels the same as the Grand. And while they've added a bit more of a bucket shape to the backrest for a sportier feel, the seat surface for your hips feels almost identical. It's almost the same, and that's good. Surprisingly, the seats in Chinese brand cars are actually quite good.
Mentioning China often prompts people to say, hey, we're watching you. I think now we need to accept it with a bit more of an open mind.
It needs to change. That's the wrong mindset. This whole China experiment, if the Grand Koleos weren't selling, that'd be one thing, but it's selling well now, isn't it?
If a domestic manufacturer had made the Grand Koleos, it would have been a huge deal.
This would have been a big hit.
If Hyundai or Kia had made this and added convenience features, then it would have become top tier.
That's right. With a Hyundai or Kia logo, it would have been a huge hit.
That's right. Well, it's already been 2 years for this one. And since it's sold a lot, now we can say what's good is good after 2 years.
2 years ago, when I praised the Grand Koleos, people questioned its proven durability. Yeah, that's right, but it was already sold in China for 3 years before coming here, so it's been 5 years. And here there haven't been any major problems for 2 more years. So now it's worthy of recognition. It deserves to be acknowledged.
So, manager, now the domestic models have the next generation 2.5 and this one is based on the 1.5. So the 2.5 and 1.5 basically have different engines at their core. Is there a big difference between them?
Well, in the high-speed range where a lot of power is needed, the 2.5 is definitely better. And then I think this one is better up to 80 kilometers an hour.
I guess we need to consider that too.
Yes.
You said this one is better in urban areas?
Yes, this one is lighter.
When you need more power? In the high-speed range, the 2.5 hybrid engine, which combines an internal combustion engine with an electric motor and also has a multi-stage transmission, definitely has horsepower. And on the other hand, if you look at city driving, this method, which is close to an electric car and uses the internal combustion engine as a supplement to the motor, is also good.
If you know this and make your choice, you won't regret it, right? Usually these kinds of cars are bought as multi-purpose vehicles that can be used for commuting and also on weekends like a mid-size SUV. I think this one can do it all. That's actually why I have a Santa Fe myself. I have a Santa Fe.
Usually you use the Santa Fe during the week and the Palisade on the weekends, right? That's right. There's something really important. I know it's good and I know it's gotten better. But for this car, in the mass market, 5 million won is a really big deal. When you look at the value of 5 million won, now if you could tell our subscribers the criteria for choosing, first, who would be a good fit to buy the Gran Koleoso?
The Gran is actually pretty good just for the sake of having a reason.
Whether in the past or now, it's truly a solid family SUV.
In the mid-size hybrid category, it's just average, especially if you're considering driving performance.
As for the driving performance?
And then for those who care about that series parallel feel, that smoothness, that's something the Gran Koleoso just guarantees.
There's no need to talk about it. If it's handling, it's handling. If it's driving performance, it's driving performance. There's no need to talk about it.
That's right. What I'll discuss next may be sensitive for those with a Filante contract, but it's just my opinion, so please keep an open mind. Among young people, there are those who value and are swayed by design. For example, our director Seondi earlier, he was really taken by this design.
He was suddenly just completely taken by it, yes.
That's right, by this. So the standards for valuing those high-end elements are a bit different. For those who have their own standards, Pinland might be fine, it might be okay, but the options go up a bit. They say it's 500, but honestly the difference is even bigger. Now that I checked, that's right. But I think it's good to ask yourself if it's really worth paying 700 or 800 more to buy this Pinland, according to your own standards, and to think about it carefully.
That's right. Design is a matter of personal taste, and some people, what surprised me, so I actually asked about it. I asked at the Renault dealership. So has it been revealed? Are you still doing it up to this season? Don't the waiting customers come? Do the waiting customers really buy this? They said, surprisingly, a lot of them do. So, for those who are attracted by the design, they try it out and end up liking it. On the other hand, to give you the opposite opinion, there are also many people who have tried both the Gran Koleos and this one, and they say the Gran Koleos is better.
That's right?
That's right. So, because the value we pursue is different, it's a thoroughly verified, value-focused traditional SUV. On top of that, you can load taller items in the trunk, and there's also a noticeable difference in the sense of openness in the second row.
That's right.
For the Filante, it narrows sharply like a swallow's tail. Looking at it from the side like this, it feels cramped. There were definitely people who felt this way, and on the other hand, those who have driven a lot of coupes might look at it and think, oh, that's fine, that's right, so it's relative. In the end, it would be good if you know the standards for investing this amount of money before you make a purchase.
Nice.
All right then, Mr. Banjang.
Yes.
Driving feel, no, even though it's made on the same platform. Now that the frequency inflection cannon has been added, is it dramatic? People would want it to be dramatic, right? What do you think?
It's not dramatic, but there are some dramatic situations. For example, when going over a speed bump at low speed.
Going over a speed bump, it's actually pretty good and handles well.
Oh, it's nice. Do you get that feeling? But when you start driving and get on the highway, at that point, I think the Gran Koleos feels better.
Rather, it basically has a solid and steady driving feel.
That's right. And this MDPS, well, the hardware might be the same, but I really felt like the software has changed a bit. Yeah, that's right. It's not that you have to keep correcting the steering, but it does sway a bit. The on-center feel is a little weaker. It feels a bit like it's giving some comfort.
Right. That's the exact expression.
Yes.
It's a bit different. The handling of Gran Koleos and Filante is a little different.
Yes.
So overall, for those who are thinking comfort, Filante is a good choice, and that's right. No, I prefer the sensitive handling of the German Big Three.
That's right. The European car tendency, the style, yes, that's correct.
So if you look at it from the European car perspective, the Gran Koleos seems a bit better.
Yes, it's better. And now, what was pretty good about this Filante was the pedal firmness,
Yes.
They did a good job with it. They improved it. You know, they said they upgraded the software. Yes, this pedal feels really solid in any situation when you press it. The pedal response is really nice. Even without knowing this was an electronic booster, I'd be surprised. They've tuned it really well. The tuning is excellent. I assume the software was improved, since they sold under 50,000 units. Wow, so I guess they must have accumulated a lot of data by now? So those parts are pretty good. And what's a bit disappointing is that since the Filante is a high-end model, I wish they had done a bit more with the tires. This is really the disappointing part. The tires are the same as the Gran Koleos.
Right here. If they had just changed the tires, it would have been a completely different car.
That's right, because right now that frequency absorbing cannon isn't that dramatic. That's what I said, the damping sound is similar. The grip of the tires is also a bit lacking, but that's a bit disappointing.
This is a car that sells quite well, so I'm not saying the tires on this car are bad. There are domestic tires, and among domestic tires, there are brands like Hankook and Nexen. But to be honest, in the world of tires, there's Michelin, right? Because even for Hyundai and Kia cars, the high-end models in the E-Class all come with imported tires. There's a reason for that, right? There's a reason they put them on as standard. So I'm really curious how it would feel if you combine those. It could have created a much better feeling.
That's right.
So since that part went up a bit, if the match was that good, it would have been really great. Right.
That part is definitely important, so we need to make sure to match it. Next, about this material. Of course, RP uses this material here, but actually this iconic grade is, right? It's the highest trim except for RP, and this uses the same DT material as the Gran Koleos.
It would have been better if they raised it more since they called it premium, right?
If it's calligraphy, it definitely needs to go premium.
After listening to what the director said, it's clear that it was mentioned as premium. And from the beginning, the Aurora 2 is a vehicle that can really raise expectations. They said it's an upper mid-size vehicle, but in reality, since it shares the same platform and has a similar configuration, even after investing about 5 million won on average, the elements that make it look completely different were, to be honest, a bit lacking. That's what was mentioned. So there were some visible aspects, and in terms of driving feel, it went for a more comfortable, softer ride. But if they had at least upgraded the tires a bit more, right? Wouldn't everyone have felt the difference more?
If they had used slightly more premium tires, it would have made perfect sense. I mean, using quieter, more comfortable tires like that.
So once you've decided on these two cars, you should really test drive them carefully based on these criteria. I think it would be good to compare them.
Test drive them, compare them, see how they feel, and also check the trunk, really measure the size yourself. I think it would be good to make your decision that way.
Nevertheless, I want to praise Renault for creating another derivative product. We'll have to see how Filante is evaluated by the extremely discerning domestic consumers.
I think this year will be interesting. Aside from those aspects, its fundamentals are based on the Grand Koleos sedan, so it's really good.
Honestly, there hasn't been a car like this among mainstream brands. Even though it's been 2 years now, yes, but on the other hand, I kind of feel that way. So, what other old cars are there? 2 years later, I still like it and talk about it.
Domestic cars have a certain tendency, they really need to be solid inside, but they're kind of just focused on the interior.
Naturally, since they've developed mainly for convenience, it's true that there still isn't a car that really surpasses the Grand Koleos from 2 years ago in terms of driving performance.
That's right, there isn't one. Honestly, the hybrid feel and things like that still can't surpass the Grand Koleos.
That's a bit disappointing, so I hope domestic brands will try something new again.
That's right.
No! Then finally, let's wrap up by summarizing for those who are buying this car. Sorento, Santa Fe, and Palisade. Sorento, Santa Fe.
The Sorento and Santa Fe also run well. Because for people who care about space, nothing beats the Santa Fe. That applies to me because I absolutely need a certain amount of trunk space.
A really big trunk space.
Yes, but in the case of the Santa Fe, it's about the size of the old Palisade.
That's right, the third row space is the same.
That's right, so for those who prioritize space, the Santa Fe is the best choice. And the Sorento is kind of the super normal.
Super normal.
Yes, because there's nothing to criticize about the Sorento either. It's a mid-size SUV with a high satisfaction rate. And now when it comes to space, the Grand Koleos and this Filante are that's actually their weakest point, right? On the other hand, when it comes to driving feel or the hybrid experience, honestly, this one is the best. It's overwhelming. Yes, it's overwhelmingly good. Overwhelmingly good.
There was the smooth driving feel, the handling, and for me, the hybrid feels just like an electric car. Those three things just cannibalize the rest of the lineup, that's right.
Even compared to the next generation, when you come into the city like this is where the true value of the Grand Koleos and Filante comes out. When you drive here, it just feels like an electric car, but sometimes you hear the engine sound.
Yeah, it does sometimes. A vehicle specialized for urban areas and low to medium speeds.
That's right.
When you put it that way, it makes sense.
Hybrid car drivers from Hyundai or Kia know to press the pedal gently and stay within a certain area as much as possible.
You see, the engine suddenly kicks in with a vroom sound. It's actually pretty healthy. Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, to get that electric car feeling, I try to keep it more like an EV, but then the engine just kicks in. It was a slight hill, and I thought it was all electric, but suddenly, boom, the engine.
Yes, that's right. But this one just feels like an electric car, with the engine assisting. So even when you're adjusting the distance to the car in front in the city, it's really nice.
Right, but when you accelerate on the highway, it's disappointing and the car jerks forward. At that point, the shifts are basically engine-led.
Now the parallel hybrid setup is a bit better.
Today, I made a really valuable discovery. It's almost perfectly organized now. Even among hybrids at medium and low speeds, there's this much difference. If you look for cars under 100 km/h as the standard for medium and low speeds, the advantages of the series parallel system are actually greater, right? That's because it feels like an electric motor. But on the other hand, as you go higher, it's true that hybrid systems become a bit lacking. In that case, a parallel hybrid system is obviously better. You just need to know this before you buy, right? That's right, it was fun. Yes, director, I really enjoyed listening today. In our next video, we should look at the undercarriage, right? Yes, we should. Watch the undercarriage on our channel. But everyone, don't just trust what we say. Our channel is here to share our opinions, not to make recommendations. If you use the director's extensive experience and the points we've considered to create your own test drive review, I think you won't regret your choice. Yes, director, thank you again for your time today.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you.
작은 도움이 되셨다면 좋아요 부탁드리고요. 구독과 알림 설정을 통해서 정확한 신차 정보를 빠르게 만나보세요. 감사합니다.